and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk. I'm your host, Saieed Ali, a spiritual consultant and real estate businessman. Remember, for those of you that are having spiritual problems, you can feel free to contact me. Those of you who have properties to sell or looking for property to buy, you can also contact me. And if you lend your friend and your family your hard-earned cash, and they're giving you the runaround, you've been to court, they're delaying, they're playing cricket and football and hitting you for 6. Nevertheless, contact Real Talk, that collection department, and we were glad to assist you in any way possible. Now, viewers, you can contact us at 238-6716 or 339-1670. So I want to say a special good night to those of you that are on our page tonight, Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Now, when we go live, like now, viewers, you can share our show, share the link, share the Facebook Live. Those of you on YouTube, TT Real Talk, if you haven't subscribed to it as yet, feel free to do so. You can even share the link. Now, viewers, we want Real Talk with Saieed Ali to spread throughout Trinidad and Tobago, even up the Caribbean and around the world. Why? Because we are the #1 current affairs program in Trinidad and Tobago. The only show in Trinidad that gave the viewers the opportunity to call in, to voice their concerns, to highlight issues, whether it be a police issue, whether it be a water issue, whether it be the government issue, whether it be a social development issue, whether it be a domestic violence issue, a river, a house, a road, tea and tech, you name it. You name it. There is no other show like Real Talk in Trinidad and Tobago that brings the issues of the day to you, the people. So feel free to share our page, Real Talk with Saieed Ali, as we go live. So as we start off tonight, I want to hear from the hunters tonight. Now, there are poor man that goes hunting. There are middle-class individual that goes hunting. And there are people in society, high up in society, that goes hunting. So I want to hear from the hunters tonight. It's Mashup Monday. Let us hear from the hunters as how the hunting will affect you, seeing that there's a ban on it. Let me hear from you. I know you all have your dogs, your hunting dogs that would need training. Let me hear from you as to what you have to say. So as we move along tonight, viewers, as we get our show moving tonight, hear this. Citizens are being told that they must now adapt to the flooding situation affecting Trinidad and Tobago. You all must adapt to it. Senior Disaster Management Coordinator at the Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government, Jerry David, stated that because of climate change and other factors, flooding has become a worldwide issue. He's not just talking about Trinidad, you know. He's talking about worldwide. He stated, we would have to learn to adapt. And persons must not only adapt, but be careful so that the recovery could take place. You're telling us to adapt. But if the drains and the rivers are cleaned during the crop season, we wouldn't have to adapt to the flooding. Because one minister stood up and said in Parliament that the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, the lower class citizens in Trinidad and Tobago, have built their houses in Lagoon. In Lagoon. God don't sleep. Remember when the West was flooded out? How many of you remember that? How many of you? 238-6716. Feel free to call in. He further noted that the ministry has set up emergency response team to train persons to recognize, to respond and recover from hazard. I'm going to tell you something. Let me tell you something. If rivers are drenched in the right time, if the corporations throughout Trinidad and Tobago clean the drains in the community, remove the rubbish, you see the passageway, it would pull water. I am not asking you, I am telling you. Because in many instances, communities, the people are vexed. Why the people vexed? Is because they had not have seen the corporation. Because of a blocked river. And who get flooded out? And who pay the penalties? It's the citizens. Caller, good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead.
We have the problem that you're mentioning is that people, places are being flooded out and stuff like that. However, who throws the trash into the river? Who causes the problem? The government, regardless of which government is in power, whoever the minister is there. The people throw trash into the drains. So you can't blame people for not cleaning up on time. People are responsible for their own lives as well too. And
Caller, let me ask you a question.
Listen.
When last did you see a works the backhoe in your area cleaning the passageway? I understand what you're saying. Don't get me wrong, I am not blaming you. I understand what you're saying. But the regional corporation have a work to do.
That is true. I agree. I absolutely agree. They have a work to do. But
thank you.
At the same time, people have to understand that they are also causing the problem.
I understand what you're saying.
Do you agree or not?
I understand what you're saying, and thank you for calling in. You see, viewers, this is how we get things done. By communicating, by cooperating, and we will get the job done. He agreed with me, I agree with him, and we move forward. And we move forward. So hear this now. Switching gears a bit. RBC, Royal Bank Managing Director, Mrs. Camacho Mohammed, has donated $1,009,000 to the Ministry of Education in the light to the Adopt a School program. All well and good. All well and good. The bank donates the money. The Minister of Education, the Honorable Nyan Gasbidoli, noted that the donation will be used to purchase 300 devices that will be able and that will be distributed to 21 schools. Gasbidoli further reiterated that the saying, "It takes a village to raise a child," should be at the forefront of the minds of all citizens. I understand what you're saying, Minister of Education, the new minister, Gasbidoli, I understand what you're saying, but I want you to tell that to the former Minister of Education. Tell that to the former Minister of Education. Apparently all he knew to do was woodwork. Make a bill, make a, oh God, how call it thing with his belly roti on again? A chowky. He's a woodwork man. Did nothing for education. Schools 95% complete, 5% to complete again, and he don't know how to complete it. So, RBC made a good initiative. But here's where they went wrong. Here's where they went wrong. They should have purchased the laptop or the tablet or the phone and go to the various schools and hand them out personally. This is my view. This is my view. Because when we have a prime minister willing to donate $1 billion, let me juggle their memory a little bit. It's Match Up Monday and I heat it tonight. You see, I read. Let me tell you something. I read and I'm ready. I read and I'm ready. RBC should have purchased their own laptop and their own tablet. You see just how they have individuals coming to visit your home when you go to take a mortgage? Go to the school, meet with the principal, find out who is under the breadline, and donate it for them. I'm telling you, that is what they this is what they should have done. That's just my opinion, you know. That is my opinion. And I am definitely sure the bank would have reached more children than anything else. Gatsby Dolly. Further, I reiterated that the saying, "It takes a village to raise a child," should be at the forefront of the minds of all citizens. Let me tell you something. For 2.5 years, I have been talking about education. It's gone down the drain in Trinidad and Tobago. Now that we have a minister, a new minister, she's trying her best. I must compliment the new Minister of Education, Nayana Gatsby Dolly, for trying her very best. The one we had before didn't know from cook to captain. You didn't know from cook to captain because he never did nothing for 5 years to finish one school. One school to say, well, I finished that. Let me tell you something. You know why I put on this red suit? Because I planned for it tonight. I planned for it tonight. When I see education with this story, I say, Call her good night.
Good night, Mr. Ali.
Go right ahead. You're live on Real Talk, man.
Calling from Rio Claro.
Welcome to Real Talk, Rio Claro.
I hear earlier you said about the regional corp kind of responsible drainage and rivers.
Yes.
I think, to my knowledge, the Ministry of Works is responsible for drainage and rivers, right?
But the regional corporation is there too.
Ministry of Works, right?
Uh-huh.
And Ministry of Works is responsible for the drainage of the situation. Regional corporation is not responsible for that. They may clean the normal roadside drains and within the side street drains.
Caller.
Main drainages.
But I ain't wrong.
I'm hearing you.
Me ain't wrong, I'm correct.
Yeah, the Ministry of Works is responsible for drainage and rivers.
But the regional corporation, if you clean your front drain, what will happen?
Regional corporation.
You had the video? You want to send me?
Right, but the main drainage is Ministry of Works.
Speak again. I understand what you're saying. But the thing is, if the corporation don't come in front of you and clean the drain, and all of them say, well, the drain in front of you, you're responsible. So what them getting paid for?
Okay, if you clean the drain right here and the outflow is not there, where the water goes,
Speak at the video.
outflow.
I understand what you're saying.
Works and transport
Works and transport,
is outflow, right?
they in charge for drainage. They also in charge for building bridges and big constructions of highways.
Dredging the rivers also.
Thank you very much. But you know why I lighten up the corporation? Because they have a big part to play. When they watch the village and the village flooded out, and where it come from? It come from a drain. It come from a drain that the corporation didn't even think about cleaning. I'm trying to locate that video. What I'm going to work out through, I'm trying to locate that video and we're going to show you something what happened over the weekend. So as we move along tonight, call her good night.
Good night, Saeed.
Go right ahead, my friend. You're live on Real Talk.
Yeah, I want to talk about this flooding, and you understand where the current government is coming from. One of the big honchos in, I think, the ODPM. You know what he said? He said we have to learn to live with flood. You know what I mean? I'd love for all you. I'd love for all the citizens. When it rains, it's going to pour, and all you got to battle on yourself. That is the state of governance in this country. The number is 65, and we're going to pin that on Terror the Terrible, right? Because you know when they say when a horse bowl the stable, what is happening? That is karma, you know. When you tell me...
Thank you, Cole. I understand what you're saying. So you see now, they're putting it on us. All you have to learn to live with it. Let me tell you something. Before that statement was made, years now, they're living and they're coping and they're asking for help. It's years now. It's not nothing new. It's not nothing new. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but nevertheless, this is Real Talk. I am Saieed Ali, and you're locked on to the #1 current affairs program in Trinidad and Tobago. I will see you right after this.
Come down to Martha Imports Limited, one of the largest wholesalers and retailers for all your 4x4, SUV and car accessories. We also have in stock a large variety of rims to suit all your vehicular needs, new arrivals of 4x4 off-road accessories, and we are the sole distributor of TWI 4x4 accessories. Check us out at number 3 Hassan Ali Trace, South Lower Barrackpore, or contact us at 654-5234, 289-4901, 271-3519 or 360-8773. We guarantee the best customer service, best deals and definitely the best wheels. Martha Imports Limited. We put our customers first. Come down to Martha Imports Limited, one of the largest wholesalers and retailers.
So viewers, welcome back to Real Talk. Remember, for those of you who did not look at my show Thursday and Friday last week, I have a beautiful house to sell. It's a split-level home located in the Prestige Central Park in Couva. The land is a little over 2 lots of land. It's 3 bedroom, fully air-conditioned. There's 2 entrances. There's a remote gate. Now the garage can accommodate, the compound could accommodate 5 vehicles. There's a huge backyard with a swimming pool and jacuzzi. There's also an outdoor bathroom and kitchen. Now if you're having guests over, it's the ideal thing. You have a swimming pool for the adults. You have a jacuzzi for little babies. You have a kitchen area. You have your space, the barbecue and wherever. Now viewers, last week I did not say the price, but I'm asking $2.5 million. It's negotiable. I am also accepting trade against vehicles, other properties, boats. You know you have something worth it? Call me 339-1670 or 238-6716. Make an appointment and we'll be glad. I will be glad to deal with you. So also, I have my BMW for sale. It's an M3 Sport. It's fully loaded. It is now doing 71,000 kilos. I also have my convertible Mercedes-Benz for sale. It's $225,000. Like I said, as long as you can make a down payment of $175,000, I will give it within 3 to 4 months' time. If you're taking a loan, it's not a problem. Now, let me just give you a little bit of information. There is 5 vehicles, like the convertible, in Trinidad and Tobago. 5 vehicles like that. And I am the owner of one. It's an executive, almost antique vehicles. Almost antique. That's my convertible Mercedes-Benz. I have my BMW. I have my BMW for sale. It's an M3 Sport. It's fully loaded, original BMW rims, original Joplo rims, now doing 71,000 kilos. If you're interested, it's a lady-driven car. If you're interested, feel free. It's 145,000. Make a down payment of 105,000, and I will give you 3 months to 4 months to pay off the rest of the money. So those of you who love the executive ride and you can't reach all the money, $105,000 down payment, and you will own this luxurious vehicle. So I would like to give a shout out tonight to Mr. Suresh from the US. He heard I was raising funds for the single mothers in Trinidad and Tobago. We have stopped at 175 individuals. So viewers, I'm asking of you, make a contribution of $1,000 to help the single mothers in Trinidad and Tobago. You never know when you could end up single. With a kid, with 2 kids, you never know. So those of you who, the businesswoman, the woman in society, you want to make a contribution, contact me, 339-1670 or 238-6716 and make a pledge. It's not for me. That money is going in my pocket. As you can see the vehicles I have. You can see the vehicles I have. Just imagine I'm selling it for that. Right? 225,000 for convertible. Imagine the original price of that. Imagine that. So we have a caller on the line. Caller, good night.
Good evening, Mr. Sai.
Go right ahead, my friend. You're live on Real Talk.
So I just wonder if people in this country really right in their head concerning flooding and the way they just think.
Yes.
And if they really understand really what's going on in this country. Now, they're talking about the people is to blame for the flooding. And is the regional corporation and is the county. Let me tell you something. The government is wholly and solely responsible for any type of flooding that occurs in our country.
Yes.
Now, this is a national issue.
Yes.
And once something happens in a nationwide situation, because right through this country have flooding right now, the government's supposed to address that with all their resources.
Correct.
Focus on finding some solution. If there is enough waterway, you create new ones.
True.
If there's any type of maintenance that is lacking, you do that. Now what takes place in this country is that they have the citizens exactly where they want them to call.
Well said, caller.
Everything else beside their responsibility. Now, they would go and dredge a couple meters in front of our bridge where the population could see when they're passing on the roads and things.
Correct.
But the entire riverway now, it has bamboo patch growing in it.
True.
It is caved down, the water, the banks are breached, and that is where the water enters the dry land and flood out people. They don't dredge the entire river. If you follow water course, like the one from Caroni and coming from Cora and all that, and you go down them rivers, you'll see the areas where you could see when you're driving, you'll see the well dredge it and put garbage on the bank. But as soon as you cross the corner where nobody cannot see, is all kind of big tree and bamboo patch growing for years in these river courses, them that creating the flooding, and that is where they're supposed to address that. If you have an issue with people illegally building in the river, that is their issue also. Tongue and Country, there's a department where they pay in Tongue and Country to go and ensure that these things doesn't happen. But what happened?
Yes, I heard that, yes.
That's a government issue. If people are dumping garbage in the rivers, we are paying garbage warden all over the country
to see about that.
Find people and arrest them. How much them? So when people come and talk this nonsense about the citizens to blame and his corporation to blame, is not that it's the government to blame. This flooding in this country is a national issue that needs a national attention. And let me show you something. Right now, people don't understand this, that every part of this country is flooding when rain falls in different areas of the country. Just imagine if we have a nationwide amount of rain, a hurricane or some kind of thing that comes and hit the entire country. Let me tell you something, this whole country will be underwater.
True.
People not realizing that. 1 minute is in the east, 1 minute is in the north, 1 minute is south. That is because rainfall in these parts. But let me say a hurricane comes and covers Trinidad and Tobago and start to rain for about 6 hours continuously. This entire country will be underwater. Wake up and see. and they not doing anything to have people calling and blaming everything else. But the government,
themselves.
let them find the money and create a way to solve the problem. No, let it call now and blame who throwing garbage in the thing. And when you see water come, let it flood out and drown. And then they go look to blame somebody after when they're dead.
Thank you, my friend.
Sorry, take care.
Thank you, my friend. No, but that is true, you know. They're paying wardens all over the place. For what? Litter warden. Only in the city? Only in the city? Come now, man. So, we're moving on a bit, viewers. We're going on to the bar owners. Bar owners and operators association said the steady increase in local cases of COVID-19 came exactly 14 days after July 17, 2020, which was nomination day. They have provided their own analysts using the same bar graphics provided by the Ministry of Health officials at the briefing on Saturday. One health official pointed to the high number of cases on September 2nd, being most likely from the last lap activities at beach and rivers. The bar owners pointed out some other events on the timeline which is believed may have contributed to the spike in infections. For instance, the graphic shows that 2 days of the country's highest daily infections on August 24th and 25th, which the association pointed out to be 2 weeks after the general elections. Now you can't beat them, you know. They have their points. They have their graphs, according to the minister. So you can't blame them. The bar owners also noted that after they were allowed to reopen on June 22nd, TNT remained free of local COVID cases for 27 days. So, as we're talking about the bar, I just want to jump to the Hunting Association. How does hunting in the forest spreads COVID-19? Tell me. Caller, good night.
Good night, sir.
Go right ahead, you're live on Real Talk.
I don't know if people are aware and understand what is global warming, climate change. Now, you see all those ice mountains up in the north, the northern part of the world, like Alaska and all these places, tall mountain ice, and you see. Now, due to the global warming and climate change, everything is different. The sun is shining. The sun is even shining more hotter. So the sun is melting the ice, and the land becomes below sea level. They can clean all the rivers, clean all the drains. That will stop any flooding because the sea not taking the water.
I understand what you're saying, caller. All right, one question before you hang up. When last did you see an excavator doing your work in your area concerning a river or a drain or opening an outlet? You gone? You could have hang around and answer the question. You could have hang around. Call her good night.
Mr. Fine, good night to you.
Go right ahead, sir.
Good night, Ali. Mr. Ali, I seen a lot of things that's happening right now. That the PNM administration is diversion tactics, they call that.
Yes.
Because they say they clean all the rivers and ravines and how it name, all the courses and they clean before the general election. It's shown now that they didn't do nothing. They was only just cleaning where your eyes could see. You understand? And today the people have flood out. You understand? And here what the MP said. He said, I'll give them a mattress. A mattress to fulfill people maxi and taxi and motor cars and homes, my friend. And today I hear want to give bulbs. Where they have to take a whole year to come and give a bulb. What is that bulb, Mr. Ali? What is more important, Mr. Ali? A bulb You understand? I'm trying to fool the population. They thief out $22 billion. And you know where the money gone. And today they want to come and put PR to people. I'm telling people, you deserve what you get to know. And the people in this country sit down idly by and didn't go and vote and studying and she's saying about the NIB, you understand, you don't trust, you understand, and you didn't say it properly, and the PNM run with that. No, the PNM saying, listen to me, I may look at the old age pension, you understand, and the social welfare. You know, nobody is running with that. You know, nobody is running with that. But when Kamala make a statement about the citizens,
they're running with it.
To do something, do that. The wicked and the deceitful Sally, and God will look at them and laugh at them and treat them exactly how they want to be treated, my brother. I thank you, my friend.
Thank you, my friend, for calling in and voicing your concern. Chief Epidemiologist Dr. Avery Hines stated that last lap at bars is responsible for the spike in COVID-19 cases. All you hear what this man had to say? The last lap in bars is responsible for the spike in COVID-19 cases. When everybody going into the groceries and you're jamming up, it's not a problem. When you're going to the market, when you're going to the market and you're jamming up, it's not the problem. Watch me. In a market with 100 by 100, it have one people. When you're going to grocery, 1,000 feet by 1,000 feet, it have one people in the lane. So, Mr. Dr. Avery Hines, I want you to come out from your chair you're sitting down in, and I run your supervisors and go down in the bloody hell market and see how much people it is have. Go down in the grocery and see how much people it is have. Come out. Come out in Port of Spain, in City Gate, and see how much people it is have. Go down to Arima and see how much people it is have. Come down San Fernando and see how much people it is have. Do not sit down in your office. Do not sit down in your office. And when somebody come and tell you it have 2 persons in the grocery, agree with them. Get up from the seat that you're covering soft and nice, that you're laying on, and come down to the bloody hell grocery. Go down to City Gate, go down to Sando, go down to Port of Spain, go down to Arima, go to Grandi. Don't come and tell me the last slap in the bars that caused it. Don't tell me that. You're talking madness. You're talking madness. I just be all over Trinidad. What are you talking about? You see when they'll come out with a foolish thing like this? Before general election, for a month or 2, we heard nothing about COVID cases. After the general election, how much thousands we have? How much thousands we have? Eh? You want to sit down in your office and blame the bar? While they have 50, 60 people jam up in the market on a Sunday morning? In the grocery, you can't pass properly because somebody started jamming you up? Eh? Asking you. I'm going to tell you something. If it have nobody in Trinidad and Tobago to challenge all you, because all you holding a position, I, Saieed Ali, will challenge all you anytime. Anytime. Not because there's a big doctor here and you have a big name, long, your tag on your door is about 20 feet long. I do business. I do business. We're talking about you blaming the bars. Before general election, 1 month before general election, how many cases we have? After the general election, how many cases we end up with? You want to blame the bars? No. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Call her good night.
Night, Saieed, lying to we all.
But it's lie like that, boy.
They're lying to we all the time, boy. Said about the drainage side. Holland is a place underwater, under sea level, and them do not.
You got the video?
flood. And they do not flood because they have the integrated drainage system side. And Said,
Spring Village.
the management, disaster management relief guy, he should resign because he has no solution for the problem.
Thank you, my friend.
Yes, let him give me the job. I will deal with it. I will tell
Terence the Alsing say all the hospital is he won.
Said, they need to clean the drains and the rivers and
Hey.
the mouth of the rivers.
Thank you, caller. Look what happened in Spring Village over the weekend. Over the weekend, look what happened in Spring Village. Look what happened in Spring Village over the weekend. A little rainfall, and look what happened. That's done by one of my worker. Watch what happened. Move down to the drain. Where the show me? Look at that. When the government's supposed to be cleaning the drain, look what happened. When the corporation's supposed to be doing their work, look what happened. Look at that, watch. When the corporation's supposed to be doing their work, they're doing nothing. I tell you, I will light up everything. Watch me now. Real talk taking a turn, you know. We taking a turn, you know. I ain't petting nobody in no chair again, you know. Listen this. However, Minister of Health Terence Singh responded to the graph highlighted by the bar's owner. He stated that peak in September may have clashed with the last lap. The minister added that he is looking at the facts provided.
One of the peaks that Dr. Hines mentioned was the peak in September, which was way after the election and which seemed to coincide with that last lap in the weekend. That was way after the election. So let's deal with facts. So that is the fact. And then he also went on to demonstrate that maybe the legislation dealing with masks may seem to be having a positive effect.
Election was the 10th of August. During election, they had campaigning throughout Trinidad and Tobago. Throughout Trinidad and Tobago. You want to blame the bars? You want to throw the blame on the bars? Let me tell all you something. Let me tell all you something. If all had planned for COVID properly, proper planning, Jamaica, Barbados, Grenada, they have controlled the COVID in those three countries. In Trinidad, they couldn't control it. They couldn't control it. But they want to come and blame the bar? Let me tell you something. I will give Jack its jacket. And the man who said he owned all the hospital, why the hell they didn't open Cuba Hospital to the public? Forget who built it. You ain't build none, you can't build none, you come and you meet one already built. What the hell open it? What the hell? Open it. Open it and claim it. Boy. Minister of Health Terence Singh has stated that the country is not under a lockdown in regards to COVID-19, but rather restrictions are placed. Speaking at a media briefing this morning, The Asing stated that there is no lockdown in Trinidad and Tobago right now. There is none. We know that. Take a look.
Let us analyze the word lockdown. There is no lockdown in Trinidad and Tobago right now. There is none. People are free to move around. There is no state of emergency. There is no lockdown. There is no curtailment on people's civil liberties. The Constitution is up and running. Let me make that absolutely clear.
You know, I like how he does do that. How old he is? $150 million US was given to Trinidad and Tobago. You're giving an account for $50 million. Where is the account for the next $100 million? Where is the report on the Davis home in Sandy Grande? I'm waiting. It seems as though you cannot come forward anymore. But let me tell you something. Nobody light up all in Trinidad. I Saieed Ali ain't afraid of you. I'm telling all you. You could send me a letter to come to court. As you see, I have clothes. And if I had to go to court, I'm going just like this. To let you know I'm ready and I'm ready. Bring it on. Bring it on. You know, first thing people say, oh, because Saieed, you do spiritual work, you have the advantage, you can talk to them and they can't do you nothing. Let me tell you something. Don't put the spiritual work there. Don't put the spiritual work there. Come out with the facts and tell the people. Come out with the facts and tell the people. Give an account for $100 million. Give an account for Davis home. And then we go talk. You see, Trinidad and Tobago forgot is $105,000 paying for Davis home. $105,000. A building that was up for sale. It was up for sale. I can show you pictures of the building for sale. I just do my homework, you know. I don't come here just so, you know. Because you see, if I come here just want to start a talk now, they might want to send lawyer a letter and they want to sue me. But when I start to bust facts with them, with their own words, you can't tell me nothing. So we're moving along now. Speaking at the media briefing this morning, he further noted that there are certain restrictions on certain activities. We there?
What we have are certain restrictions on certain activities that pose a challenge to the healthcare workers, that pose a challenge, as Dr. Trotman will go into. So we do have some restrictions on churches, on places of worship. We do have some restrictions on nurseries and preschools, but there is no lockdown.
So I love this, eh? The Asing also stated that there has been a decline in the number of COVID-19 cases. Every day we're going up from 50 to 100, but we have a decline. Whoops! Vaps. Whoops, as the owner of all the hospitals in Trinidad and Tobago. Vaps. We have a decline. Look out for tomorrow, Ministry of Health release. And see if they go up over 60. Sometimes I just wonder where these people coming from, you know. So we're moving on, viewers. Minister of Health, Mr. Dayal Singh, said the reasons for more housing locations for COVID-19 patients is to prevent outcrowding at the hospitals as the disease progresses. You hear that? He was speaking at a media briefing conference when he made the statement.
So we stated from the beginning that we don't want our hospitals to be more than 75% occupied. As the disease progresses, we took a decision, as Dr. Trotman said, that Cora will be for those mild patients and that Cuva will be for the moderate patients. We activated AREMA in the first instance for suspect cases, and we also have in AREMA, which I said many months ago, that AREMA will be mainly used, and it is being used for patients who need dialysis.
Meanwhile, Dr. Michelle Trotman stated that citizens may have to adapt to the change to the new experiencing of COVID-19.
The COVID-19, as you have seen this experience, we have to adapt. And we have to change along with whatever the needs are. So even though statements may have been made or the plan may have been down a particular road, we find that as things changed, we would have to make the system work best for us.
Dr. Trotman also stated that the reason for the housings of patients at different locations are based on the needs of individuals.
Main reasons for having that different characterization of patients at the different locations is because of the needs and where we think the needs would be suited most. Patients who are at AREMA mainly are patients who would need dialysis, or if for some reason where you become diagnosed as COVID positive, you may become too unstable to move from that place at that particular time. So that might be another reason why patients are housed in an area where we don't normally see them.
So viewers, that was Michelle Trotman. Dr. Trotman has announced that the Cora Hospital is an ideal location for the recovery of COVID-19 patients. She was speaking at the Ministry of Health virtual media conference earlier today. Dr. Trotman noted that not only does the facility have enough rooms to house patients, but a peaceful atmosphere would help with recovery. She noted that there is no need to worry about cross-infections from other patients with illness such as tuberculosis, that is TB. She said that patients are housed in different areas.
I know when people hear about Cora, they think about TB and a TB chest hospital. Yes, we house TB patients, but they are housed in a different area following their own infection control procedures.
Dr. Trotman stated that active COVID-19 patients are separated from patients who are suspected with the virus to ensure proper infection control measures.
Building the infrastructure, we put in place what is now known commonly as hot and cold zones on the areas where we house COVID patients to separate those who are either actively with COVID disease or suspected with COVID disease. They are normally in what we call hot zones, separated from people, the caregivers and others who would be in what we call cold zones. So those areas were built into the COVID areas to assure that we have the correct infection control procedures.
You know, viewers, I want to thank Dr. Michelle Trotman. I want to thank her dearly for coming out and explaining to the public the different locations. Because we have the Minister of Health who don't even seem to know the difference between the different locations. So tonight I want to say to Dr. Michelle Trotman, thank you for coming out and telling the public about the different locations. Yes. So we're moving on now. Minister of Public Utilities, Marvin Gonzalez, stated that the new bulb replacement program, which will save this country billions of dollars in the next 5 years. He was speaking at the launch of the bulb program distribution program. The Trinidad and Tobago Electricity Commissioner, TNTEC, has launched its energy management application at the ceremony.
This will no doubt save this country billions of dollars in the next 5 to 10 years. Prior to that announcement, Cabinet had appointed a committee to develop a plan that would guide this national thrust for the next 5 years. The pillars of that plan, grounded in up-to-date research and a very understanding of where we are as a nation, were articulated in government's 2019 budget presentation. And as time goes on, you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, can expect to see the implementation of various initiatives and strategies in alignment with our policy relating to energy efficiency and energy conservation.
So what I want to find out, is it only government ministries will be getting the bulb and citizens have to purchase the bulb? This is what I want to find out. And I also want to find out if the minister would come out and say who got the contract to supply the government with the bulbs on them. Because the reason why I'm asking this, Minister Gonzalez said the light bulb had cost $8.8 million.
The distribution of LED lights to households across Trinidad and Tobago is just one of the projects proposed by that committee. The bulbs, which were supplied by Nova Lighting Trinidad and manufactured by Emitter Energy Incorporation, cost taxpayers a total of $8.8 million, and their distribution will be facilitated by TNTEC. Government is currently developing and implementing a number of other initiatives that are geared towards diversifying our energy mix.
So now we hear the company that got the bulb, the company that manufacturing the bulb, and how the minister is going to say household. But how many bulbs are one household going to get? That's the thing. One bulb per household? I probably have about 20 bulbs in my house. Am I getting 20 bulbs? But nevertheless, the PNM National Movement has opened its nomination for prospective candidates for the upcoming Tobago House of Assembly election, that is the THA election. This was announced by the chairman of the party's Tobago Council, Stanford Calendar. He was speaking at a media briefing earlier today.
We are just a few months away from Tobago House of Assembly elections. And against that background, on Thursday last, the 17th, the council had a virtual meeting to discuss and make some announcements as we prepare to go into these elections. And for the benefit of the public and for the public information, I want to indicate that a decision was taken to trigger the nomination process for the election or selection of prospective candidates. That period begins today, 21st of September, and will end on the 12th of October at 4 p.m. this year, 2020.
Mr. Calendar said a committee has been appointed to ensure that the process is a smooth one.
No new party groups are to be formed during this period. September 21st to October 12th. And also, we have to put a pause on the application of membership during this period also. And to facilitate us to do this exercise smoothly, we have appointed a 5-man committee that will be chaired by one of our council members to come up with the processes and systems to facilitate a smooth and effective management of the process.
So viewers, we have a call online. Caller, good night.
Hi, good night.
Go right ahead, you're live on Real Talk.
Yes, I just have 3 quick points here. Right? You remember you're talking about the garbage that people dumping and things? Right. I don't know if you're aware, I called you a couple of times, I was telling you about the road by the Savannah and Pierre Road.
And where?
By Pierre Road, inside the road.
Pierre Road, yes.
Right, you need to drive down and check that drain, boy. Since March, April, I gave you any council to get that drain clean with that machine. And watch me, it's like...
Call us to the drain and cleaners yet in Pierre Road?
Yes, boy.
Faik Mohammed is the new mayor. So Faik, I know those of you in Pierre Road you're listening. So Faik, I'm giving you a call tomorrow. See about Pierre Road. It's your community. Don't do with that. I'm from Central. Don't do with that.
After all the sale attempts to get the drain clean, you know they push the man to the mayor out there. You know we can't get nothing done here again.
Caller, thank you for highlighting it. I will try my best to get the drain in Pierre Road clean. Faik, I'm contacting you tomorrow morning. Don't duck my call. You know I'm going to put you on TV. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but nevertheless, I will be with you right after this break.
Come down to Martha Imports Limited, one of the largest wholesalers and retailers for all your 4x4, SUV and car accessories. We also have in stock a large variety of rims to suit all your vehicular needs, new arrivals of 4x4 off-road accessories, and we are the sole distributor of TWI 4x4 accessories. Check us out at number 3 Hassan Ali Trace, South Lower Barrapore, or contact us at 654-5234, 289-4901, 271-3519 or 360-8773. We guarantee the best customer service, best deals and definitely the best wheels. Martha Imports Limited. We put our customers first. Come down to Martha Imports Limited, one of the largest wholesalers and retailers.
Viewers, we have come to the end of our show tonight, just about 1 minute and 30 seconds less. But nevertheless, remember, I have a house in the Prestige Central Park in Couva for sale. It's $2.5 million. If you have vehicles, you have boat, you have a property, and you want to trade against the price, it's not a problem. Remember, I have my Mercedes-Benz for sale, $225,000. Make a down payment of $175,000. And remember, there's only 5 of this Mercedes-Benz in Trinidad and Tobago. I have my BMW for sale, $145,000. Make a $105,000 down payment, and it could be yours. It's now doing 71,000 kilos. So it's 2 luxurious vehicles. The convertible BMW that a lot of people who have called and asked, it is not for sale as yet. It is not for sale as yet. That is a very, very executive vehicle. It's not for sale as yet. Oh, I also have my Ford Ranger for sale. Tomorrow I'll try to provide some pictures on TV with it. So viewers, we have the food drive going on for the single mothers in Trinidad and Tobago. Please make a contribution. We have reached almost $11,000, hopefully by tonight. Friday was $9,600, and I got $1,300 from Mr. Gopal in the United States. I would like to thank you very much for making a donation, and thank you and your family for viewing Real Talk. My brother, may Allah bless you and God provide a way in everything you are doing to make it possible for you, and thank you so much for the donation. So my friend, we have almost $11,000. We need to raise $250,000 to accommodate 175 single mothers. Now I can tell you something for the women out there. Encourage your husband to make a contribution. You come and drop it, because you never know when you could end up in a situation like that, and you would call on Real Talk for assistance. The businesswoman in society, you never know when you might have to go to court and you remain with nothing. You never know. Not because you're driving your husband BMW and Lexus today, by next week you're back by your mother's house with nothing. It's reality. So I'm asking of you, please make a contribution. We are out of time for tonight, but nevertheless, illa rahamasunto ba ula ina urahma. The old people used to say, what end miss you, end pass you. Viewers, until we meet again, let me explain one thing to all before we go. When I recite something in a foreign language, just after I recite it, I just give it the answer. So it's like I give it in Arabic, Urdu, Sanskrit, Hebrew, or Greek, and just after I speak that foreign language, I translate it back in English. Ilazum ra. Good night, until we meet again.